Okie dokie.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Toad Town Zoo Aquarium. Today we're building the Marsupial Mushroom Cafe, which will be a mushroom-shaped koala exhibit with a restaurant in the top cap of it. Top cap of the mushroom. So if that interests you, like and subscribe, because we got a bunch more weird stuff like that happening over here at the Toad Town Zoo. So with that, we are going to be building our portion that we're going to repeat around in a circle to make our mushroom. So I'm starting off by creating the profile view of it, and then once we do a circle, it should end up being a mushroom shape with our climbing structure circled around on the inside for our koalas to climb around on. And you'll see that this was probably one of the unexpectedly hardest builds I've ever built, ever. It took a lot of time. The fact that the mushroom cap's edge sticks out further than the center meant that there was more math that I needed to think about than I ended up thinking about. So it got very, 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 very frustrating. And you can see right here, this is when I noticed that not everything's going to line up. Because I could have made the interior floor line up, or I could have made the mushroom cap part line up. So yeah, I restarted and made that wider at the outside and then skinnier on the inside. It's the best I could do, okay? Don't judge me too hard. So now we got the whole cap lined up as best we can. There's a little bit of rough edges, but we're just gonna say that I did that intentionally for a unique aesthetic that we're going for in this zoo. Now we're just gonna mark out our area. Add our staff door. It look a little nicer with some Arctic back stuff. Now we're going to order our koalas, and we're going to wait for them to be delivered. Here they are. Let me know what you think we should name them. Also, let me know what you think we should name our pygmy hippos from the last episode, because I forgot to ask you guys. And that's no fun. So yeah, drop the names in the comments for these. We end up having 3 koalas, and we have 3 pygmy hippos at the moment. We can also name our terrapins and our frogs if you want. I believe we have 8 frogs. I can't remember. Just drop some names. We'll name them. And here go our koalas, straight up the pole. You guys know I like it when they utilize my structures right away. Koalas do kind of creep me out in this game, so we won't spend too much time looking at them. And now I want the mushroom cap to be even bigger, so I made it hard on myself and decided to extend it out a little bit more so that we can make a more interesting restaurant viewing area. So we're just gonna extend that out about 1 tile, duplicate it on the other side, and then we're gonna have to delete everything that I have already done except for the cage out the bottom, but just some roof tile pieces. Which, in fast motion, is kind of satisfying to watch. In real life, not fun at all. Okay, now we're going to get rid of that outer climbing structure that I added on there. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be. I want the climbing structure to be more central, so it was just a little too far outside. But now we're gonna duplicate that around. It also kind of acts as a shelter for our guests as well, which is kind of nice. And there is the main shape that we're sticking with. And you can see plenty of climbing for them. And then here is our interior area where we will lay down our path that we will stick our restaurant tables on. So I was debating on how I wanted the guests to get up here, and eventually I just decided that this is a Mario themed zoo, so they will be transported up by a warp pipe. If you've used the restaurant pieces, they just kind of walk into a black void in the back of the restaurant and are magically seated at the table. So the warp pipe makes sense. That they walk into the warp pipe and they're warped to their table. Here we are just adding some decorations. I like this area because it feels very much like an exclusive lounge, like the Koala lounge, and it's very, I would love to eat at a place like this. The red kind of has that like loungy vibe. Now we're taking some Australian pole pieces. We're gonna make a fence out of that, individually placing and rotating everything because I didn't think in advance. I probably could have done this when I made the initial rotation piece, profile piece, but you live and you learn. Some projects are better than other projects. And there we have that complete. We're going to add our table lighting. Just going to use these big light balls because they look Mario-esque. I don't know why exactly. Just hanging from a chain from the ceiling. We're going to duplicate that chain, make sure it's attached so it doesn't just look like it's floating there. And we're going to attach the chain to every light that we just did. Now we're going to move on to our restaurant portion. There will be a small building right outside of it. And I'm thinking it's going to be called the Marsupial Mushroom Cafe because koalas are marsupials. And marsupial mushroom sounds fun because that's exactly what this place is. But let me know if you have another suggestion in the comments and I will consider it. But now we're just going to work on the inside of the restaurant. It's going to be pretty simple. We're using the metal pieces that we used over at the hippo exhibit, as well with this flooring tile that kind of ties it in with Australia, even though we're not really going with an Australian theme per se. And then we're going to create a little bar that people can eat their food at if they can't find a table or something. So here we're going to put in a table on the inside, and then we're going to steal this stool from our gift shop and add it to our bar right here. Now we're going to finish up the inside. moving on to the patio, we are using this glass piece as kind of a fence. And yeah, super simple patio. We're gonna add a couple booths out here, as well as heaters because they look nice on patios. And as you can see, our zoo is very hot, so yeah, we'll turn the temperature down on them, but they're strictly for aesthetics. And now we're going to work on our roof. Just a super simple, basic roof. We're going to have it lower here and then a little higher in the front, because we're going to steal this light and add it over here for consistency. And that's pretty much what it's going to look like. We're going to add this awning, then we'll do a little landscaping later on. But first we got to add this warp pipe into the black void where the guests go. Add it over here for the other end of it, deleting a couple tables just to make room, and then another pipe over here, and a pipe on the bottom. Now we're going to add this smoke burst effect. Just kind of makes it look like the customers are being poofed throughout the warp pipe system. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And I like the smoke effect so much, I added it to the center. And yeah, I like the poof one better than the mist. But we do add the mist up top just to give it more of an atmospheric look. And then I wanted to add a eucalyptus tree just because that's like a koala's whole thing is eucalyptus. So we had to add one. We had to sink it down real low just to avoid the hip boxes. But we got there eventually, and we had to also avoid the ceiling. But we got there. Plenty of climbable area for them, and the tree looks nice right in the center. Yeah, very excited about that. Now we're just gonna do a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of planting to get their coverage up. Because I do build in franchise mode and all that stuff matters. And linking all the tables because I forgot to do that. Steal the signs from our hippo exhibit and move them over here. And then I decided I didn't like the concrete floor in there, so we get rid of it, so that they have a little bit more earth to play around in. And then here we're going to add some rhubarb that we have from our hippos. We're going to add that over here just for yet again more consistency. I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple palm trees because it seems like it fits the vibe. And here we have our completed marsupial mushroom. Yeah, complete with the restaurant in the top, the mood lighting on the tree in the center. I love the kind of loungy vibe that it gives off. And there we have our aerial view. Looks a little different than our other mushroom houses, but it's a completely different build, or kind of building, so it makes sense. There we have our restaurant, people eating their dinner there. And then we have our final view of our Toad Town Zoo and Aquarium. I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. And as always, have a beautifully, wonderfully, the best day ever. All right.